Alright guys, in this video I'm going to give you the introduction to mobile SEO and what you need to know about SEO in general now, because it's very focused on mobile, as well as how to optimize your website for mobile so that you will actually rank. So the first thing that we need to make a note of is that Google has actually switched to mobile first indexing, which means that it's only using your mobile site to count towards the ranking. And so that means if your mobile site is not optimized, even if your desktop site is perfect, you're still not going to rank. So that's why mobile SEO now is not only important, it's essential. You literally won't rank if you don't do that properly. So in this video, I'm going to give you the basics of what you need to know about this. Now, the other thing you should know as well is 60% of users are on mobile devices. So what that means is 60% of the people at least who land on your website are going to be on mobile. And if you haven't optimized your website for mobile, that means you're going to lose 60% of your potential customers because they're not going to go ahead with whatever you want them to do, purchase you, contact you, whatever. So that's why you need to do mobile SEO. Now, first of all, what you can do to check your own mobile traffic is go in Google Analytics. So hopefully you've got Google Analytics set up. If you don't already, I'm going to put a link above to my video on how to set it all up so you can track these things. And basically, once you're in Google Analytics, you can go to your reports and your traffic report. So I usually go on the acquisition and traffic acquisition. That's just the one that I use that I've set up. And in here, you can actually see what devices they're coming from. So you want to select here, sorry, not that one. You want to add on this plus icon, you want to go to platform device and go to device category. And now this is going to tell you how many of your visitors from each traffic source are either on mobile or desktop. Now you can see on my website, a good 2/3 come from mobile and 1/3 come from desktop. And if I set that to the last 12 months, that's been consistent around that period as well. You can see here, 152,000 users came from mobile, 54,000 came from desktop. So you can see there that 2/3 of my traffic is coming from mobile, which is consistent with the 60% metric. That would be about 66%. So we're pretty much on there. So that's how you can check how much of your traffic is actually from mobile. Now, the next thing is how to check if your site is actually optimized for mobile. So the first thing you should actually do is just open your website and open it on mobile, or go to the website and go to inspect and then select a mobile model here, and you'll see what it looks like on mobile. So the first thing is you should just do a quick visual check and just see, does it actually look good on mobile and does it function properly? So ideally, pull out the mobile, go and open it on the mobile device and check it and see if you can actually do what you need to do on the actual mobile device. Now, the second thing is you want to go to Google Search Console. So again, hopefully you've set that up. If you have not already, I'm going to put a link above on how to actually do that. So you can go to Google Search Console and you can go to Core Web Vitals. And here you're going to get reports of how your website is on mobile and on desktop according to Google's Core Web Vitals. So we can see here on my website, it scored poor across all of the pages that Google was indexing. And so obviously I need to go in and fix that. So you can open the report and you can go in here and it's going to tell you what the problem is. In this case, it's basically slow loading. So you can go in here and it'll tell you what you need to fix, whether you have like content issues, the size of the content, text too small, can't read, etc., etc. It'll list them all out here. So this is just one of the examples. So the next thing you can do is you can use Google Lighthouse. Now, there's a few ways you can do this. This is built into the Chrome browser. You can also get this if you go on Google and just search Google Lighthouse. And basically what it is if you go to your website and you hit inspect while on a Chrome or Chrome-based browser like Brave, if you go up here and you select this, you can select Lighthouse and it will actually analyze the website that's open and generate a report. Now, this is going to be the same report or very similar as the PageSpeed Insights report. So you can just do that there as well, where basically you open PageSpeed Insights, and I'll put a link to this in the description below. What you can do is you can type in your website. So I'll just type in mine and you can do analyze. And what it'll do is it'll analyze your website according to Google's Core Web Vitals and tell you how it scores. So we'll let this analysis run and I'll show you what that looks like in a second when it loads. So you can see here the analysis is being performed. And again, it's the same site I showed you earlier and it failed because it's taking too long to load the main content essentially. So the largest contentful paint is too long. That's mainly the biggest issue here. Now, what it'll do is it'll diagnose performance issues. So we'll just wait for that to happen. Until that happens, what I'm just going to show you is this is on mobile. If you switch to desktop, it'll give you a separate specific score for desktop as well so that you can see how they compare against each other. But you ideally want to have both optimized 100%. Okay, so now the diagnosis for the performance issues is done and you can see here here, it gives us a score on performance, accessibility, best practices, SEO. So these three on my side are okay, but the performance is poor. And the reason why, again, it's the poor loading speed. And now here it'll explain to you what you can do to try and fix this. So in this case, it takes too long to load this. You can potentially eliminate render blocking resources, etc., etc. You can do a bunch of stuff here to try and fix that. So it'll give you things that you can do to try and fix this score. So in my case, it's a very loading related issue. You might have other things that it'll tell you here to see if you can fix those as well. Now, the last thing you can do is use SEMrush if you have SEMrush to do a site audit. So what I'm going to do is I'll put my affiliate link for SEMrush below. I do recommend you get it if you're doing SEO because I personally use it as my main SEO tool. If you click my affiliate link, you'll get a 7-day free trial. Theoretically, you could do the site audit there and then you can do whatever you want after that. You don't have to continue, but I'm going to go to SEMrush. So you'd go down here on the left to site audit, and I've already set up my website, so I'm going to click on it. And in here, what you can actually do is you can see it from a mobile perspective. So what you can actually do is go into settings, and you can see here user agent, Google bot mobile. So this has done a site audit based on the Google's mobile bot. You can also do it on the desktop bot as well, as you can see here. So that's how you can set it to do mobile. And then from here, you're going to get the issues that SEMrush picks up on your mobile site. And as you can see here, one of my top issues is loading speed, again, as we initially saw on the previous tests as well. So it's pretty consistent what the problem is on this particular site, but you can see that as an example of the issue that you might come across when it comes to optimizing for mobile. Now, a couple of common mobile specific optimizations. So a lot of the time you'll come across needing to do these smaller images. So you'd want to have vertical images and they don't need to be as large as some desktop ones because obviously you don't need to have like a 1500 pixel wide image for mobile. So you can put smaller images on mobile, which will help to load faster. You obviously need to focus on faster loading because typically speaking, internet on mobile is slightly slower and you need it to load faster. And also you could argue that people's attention span is lower as well. So it needs to load faster, etc. There's a range of reasons why that would be the case, but fast loading is a big thing. Now, the other thing is organization of content. So for instance, buttons, etc. So if you have a site that's not optimized for mobile, you might find that all of your design gets thrown out and your buttons are in the wrong places and they're not where you wanted them to be, and it just creates a poor user experience. So that's something you'd want to go through. You want to go down this, see what it actually looks like and organize it for user experience properly from a mobile perspective rather than just desktop. The next thing is content size. So the fonts, etc. Can you actually read the content on the mobile device? So again, either see this report on the desktop, do the inspection, or ideally go and actually open it on a mobile device, see what it looks like. Can you actually read the text easily? Because if you can't, people are going to leave. So you need to make sure of things like that. Now, the last thing is also targeting voice search keywords because people on mobile search voice search keywords a lot more than they do on desktop when they just type it in. So let's say, for instance, someone might type in best running shoes as a keyword on desktop, but on mobile, when they actually use the voice search, they might say something like, what are the best running shoes for men? Or something along those lines, which they probably wouldn't type. And as a result, you should target those keywords with your SEO for mobile as well to try and get those pages to rank when people do search those voice keywords. Now, a couple of ways to optimize your mobile website. This is talking more about the general optimization of the whole site rather than individual elements. So you can do responsive web design, which is what most page builders and websites use today. So if you're using a common page builder like Elementor on WordPress or things like that, it's basically already responsive anyway. You just need to go into the mobile section and edit the design layout, but otherwise it will be responsive, so you don't have to worry about that. The other two options are dynamic serving, which is not really recommended by Google, which basically it decides what device it's on and then dynamically serves the appropriate content. And then the third option, which is not recommended by Google definitely, is having different URLs. So for instance, you would have, let's say, like example.com as your website. You could have m.example.com as the mobile version, but that's not recommended by Google for a range of reasons, so you just shouldn't do that one. Now, the last point I want to make here is you want to optimize the mobile pages for user experience and conversions. So don't just go for these scores that Google offers. Actually go and check all your pages on mobile before publishing to, one, make sure that they look good and function correctly, and then two, you need to consider the user experience and conversion rate optimization on mobile. So for instance, if you're trying to sprinkle buttons throughout your content so that people actually click them and contact you or buy something, on mobile those buttons are going to be spread out a lot more. So you need to consider maybe you need to insert more buttons along there for conversion rate optimization. Maybe you need to split your text up because on desktop it might be 2 or 3 lines, but on mobile it's a massive paragraph that no one's going to read. So you need to consider all these things and make sure that on your mobile site it actually looks good and functions correctly so that people are actually going to use your website properly when they're on their mobile devices, which are the majority of people, as we discussed at the beginning of the video. So that's basically it for an overview of what you need to look for when optimizing your mobile site for SEO. If you have any questions about any of this, put them in the comments below and I will answer them. Otherwise, if you'd like me to coach you on how to do SEO and Google ads for only $49 a month, go to learndominatemarketing.com. And if you'd like us to do the SEO or Google ads for your business and get your results, go to dominatemarketing.io, book a call with us there. Catch you on the next one.